This schoolgirl was about to leave class when she found something in her locker. She discovered a mysterious pair of glasses. This immediately sparked her curiosity. After making sure no one was around, she carefully took the glasses out. After some thought, she decided to keep them. But when she wore them at home, she saw on her head a red thread appears. What is this? Just then, her uncle, a cop, comes home. His head is covered in red threads. This sight scares her. She rushes out to find out what these threads are. She takes the glasses to a busy street. Watching couples, she finally understands. If the red threads on their heads are connected, it means they had a relationship. The more red threads, the more people they've been with. But normal people can't see them. Only with these magical glasses can you see them. When she got home and looked at her cop uncle, she saw countless tangled red threads on his head. The schoolgirl screamed in fear. She rushed into the room looking shocked, leaving her uncle confused. The next day, her uncle, as usual, prepared to drive her to school. While she hesitated to get in the car, she looked up and saw his head full of red threads. She couldn't believe her upright uncle dating so many people. The girl felt disgusted and refused to get in the car. Watching her leave, her uncle wondered what was wrong with her today. Thanks to the glasses, Seona became much more confident because she could see everyone's secrets on the street. What surprised her was the homeroom teacher has no red strings above her. Clearly, this naive teacher has never been in love. Then, as Seona goes down the stairs, she encounters 4 girls who bully her. Each has a few red strings above them. Seona just finds them filthy. Curious about who's involved with these girls, with curiosity, she followed the red threads. Unexpectedly, they led to the teacher's office. Then, a horrifying scene appeared. The person involved with those girls was the literature teacher. This information was shocking. The literature teacher, who seemed respectable, was actually a beast in disguise. Remember, those girls used to bully her every day. Turns out, a teacher backed them. They even beat her badly yesterday. Now she knows their weakness. She's not scared anymore. Sure enough, at lunch break, the girls came to pick on her again. But this time, Seona calmly put on her glasses. No more backing down, she grabbed the leader's hand. What's wrong? Next, it's your turn to be humiliated, and warned her not to mess with her again. But she wasn't scared at all. Then, a kick sent Seona flying meters away, and that bully will pay dearly for this kick. That night, Seona secretly followed the girls and found her with the literature teacher dating outside a motel. Seona quickly took out her phone and snapped their intimate moment. Now with evidence, Seona just needed to ruin her reputation. Soon after, the girl got Seona's threatening photos, but she didn't care at all. After the literature teacher showered, she still had a sweet night with him. Turns out, being a minor, even if exposed, she wouldn't be punished. So the one who should worry isn't her, but the teacher who slept with a student. Knowing this, Seona decides on another way to get revenge. The next day, she sends the photos directly to the literature teacher, then blackmails him for 20 million won to keep quiet or she'll expose everything. This tactic works. The literature teacher panics upon seeing the photos. Frightened, he called the student to his office. Pretending to scold her, he took her outside for a talk. He said their affair was exposed. She claimed Seona was the threat. She was puzzled. Their relationship was discreet. How did Seona know? Elsewhere, after tasting success, Seona grows more obsessed. She uses her red thread vision to threaten teachers having affairs. Teachers panic instantly. Seona, keeper of secrets, rises to the top. She becomes famous at school and wins the heart of the school hottie. The girl felt jealous seeing this. She couldn't understand how Seona did it. But Seona didn't notice a new girl with short hair was watching her. In the restroom, the short-haired girl looked at the mirror and immediately understood. She quickly asked where the mirror came from, but Seona lied about just buying it. Seeing Seona wasn't truthful, the short-haired friend grabbed the glasses. These glasses let you see something, right? While Seona still wanted to hide, the short-haired friend revealed the secret about the red threads. You also can see them? The short-haired friend nodded. In Seona's amazed eyes, she calmly revealed the red threads above teachers, female students, and classmates. Even the affair between the gym teacher and music teacher she knew. Turns out, the short-haired girl wasn't ordinary. She didn't need glasses. With bare eyes, she saw the threads. The short-haired girl is Hyun-hee. Since birth, she saw red threads on people's heads. At first, she didn't know their meaning. She drew what she saw. Unexpectedly, her mom broke down after seeing it. Her husband was linked to another woman. In rage, she killed him, shattering their perfect family facade. Hyun-hee lost her parents and became an orphan. She blamed herself for their deaths. Guilt haunted her daily. Under pressure, she considered ending it all, but no matter what she tried, she couldn't die. Each attempt led to miraculous survival. Growing up, she uncovered the secret of the red threads, but all she saw was the darkest side of others. So, she started wearing sunglasses to hide those threads. She locked herself indoors, avoiding the outside, feeling cursed for sure, determined to find out who else could see the red threads. Yet every morning she had to face the world outside. Seona, a student who goes to school daily, has a red thread. Her cop uncle has dozens of threads. Today, a new female neighbor moved in across the street. She has 9 red threads on her head. Seeing Hyun-hee, she greeted her. Hyun-hee, with social anxiety, closed the window. Now, she just wants to isolate from the world. However, soon after, the doorbell rang. Hyun-hee peeked through the door. That person is the neighbor who just greeted her, eagerly bringing her some fruit. But Hyun-hee still wouldn't open the door. The neighbor had to introduce herself from outside. After talking for a while with no response, she left the fruit outside and went away. Hyun-hee waited inside until it was quiet, then carefully opened the door, bring the fruit basket inside. There are 3 peaches. Their sweetness melted her icy heart. The next day, the neighbor brought more fruit, this time a few big apples. Hyun-hee ate apples while watching TV as usual. The news was about a serial murder case. The victims were young women, but the killer is still at large, and the murders happen near Hyun-hee's home. Hyun-hee realizes during the live stream there's a man in a helmet with a red string. Though many have red strings, seeing just one is rare for her. Hyun-hee cleverly guesses this might be the murderer. He might return to the scene to observe. Suddenly, a motorcycle sounds downstairs. Hyun-hee opens the window. It's the man in the helmet from the news. She sees him heading to the neighbor's house. Realizing the neighbor might be in danger, she quickly grabs her phone to call the police. But the man is already inside the neighbor's house. Hyun-hee quickly called the police, but she didn't expect that the man and the neighbor were lovers. After a passionate moment, their connection rekindled. It was just a scare. But the next day, the police reported a case was filed last night. Officer Han lives nearby. He sees Hyun-hee, the reporter, across the street. He rushes to her door. He asks if she noticed anything last night, but she stays silent inside as she doesn't open the door. A neighbor with glasses comes down, saying Hyun-hee is autistic and won't open up. She was known as a recluse, even needed help taking out the trash. Still, Detective Han didn't give up. After saying he was a cop, Hyun-hee cautiously opened the door. She explained she had been mistaken, then quickly shut the door. However, that night, the man in the helmet appears again. This time, he comes to Hyun-hee's building. Seems like he lives here too. Hyun-hee watches through the peephole, but he seems to notice her too. Meanwhile, the police have a new lead. They found out the victims all had the same ex-boyfriend. That was the guy Officer Han met earlier, the eager neighbor with glasses. Realizing he might be the killer, his colleague rushed to investigate his home. Strangely, the door was unlocked. He cautiously stepped inside. Seeing the blood-stained room, he immediately called Officer Han. Didn't expect the guy with glasses hiding behind him. Suddenly, he appears and knocks him out with a stick. Hearing the sudden situation from colleagues, Officer Han rushes there. Meanwhile, the colleague is tied up by the guy. Then, he slowly puts on a helmet, preparing to head to the opposite building. Hyun-hee hears the fight. She looked downstairs. She saw the red thread on his head was back to 1, and he was heading to the neighbor's house. Sensing danger, Hyun-hee tried to call the police, but her phone died. She grabbed a knife to save the neighbor, but stopped as she opened the door. She hadn't left the house in over 10 years. Gathering all her courage, she stepped outside. But after so long away from the world, she stumbled. Feeling dizzy, the world spinning, she couldn't stand and fell. Meanwhile, the guy with glasses went to her neighbor's house. Slowly, he took off his helmet. He saw 10 red threads above his girlfriend. Then, he tried to strangle her. As she was near death, luckily, Hyun-hee arrived and stopped him. Seeing her with a knife, the glasses guy calmly approached her, then snatched Hyun-hee's knife. Without hesitation, he stabbed forward. After dealing with this trouble, he goes to his girlfriend, trying to strangle her. The woman drops his glasses. While he's looking for them, she crawls towards Hyun-hee, trying to escape together. But now, he's put his glasses back on and grabs the woman. Meanwhile, Officer Han arrives downstairs. He immediately looks for his colleague. As he goes upstairs, he notices Hyun-hee's door is open. He slowly steps inside. He sees the red threads Hyun-hee drew on the wall. Suddenly, he hears arguing from the building opposite. Officer Han quickly opens the window to check. At this moment, Hyun-hee finally wakes up. Exhausted, she crawls with a knife, ready to stop the glasses guy from killing. Then, she stabs his leg. At the same time, Detective Han draws his gun, aiming at the guy opposite. With a bang, the guy falls. Before dying, he sees the red thread on his head vanish. A smile of relief appeared on his lips. Hyun-hee quickly noticed this scene. Recalling everything that happened, Hyun-hee realized the guy with glasses might be like her, able to see the mysterious red threads. The key was in his seemingly ordinary glasses. Also, after this event, Hyun-hee realized seeing the red threads wasn't all bad. Maybe she could use it to save others. She slowly took off her sunglasses. When she didn't know where to go, she suddenly got a mysterious message. It said, "I can see the world you see. Come to Ark High School." The next day, Hyun-hee lifted her spirits. She removed all the cardboard covering the windows, then cut her hair short and went to Ark High School, starting a new life. Soon she discovered that at school, there was also Seon-ah, who could see the red thread. Later, in the restroom, she quickly warned Seon-ah that the glasses were dangerous. But Seon-ah didn't care and kept wearing them. However, neither of them knew the bully girl was hiding in the next room and heard the whole conversation. She immediately planned to steal the glasses. After school, she followed Seon-ah. Seeing the glasses in her bag, she took the chance to steal them. Wearing the glasses, she watched people pass by and indeed saw the mysterious red threads. As she was gloating, disaster struck unexpectedly. Meanwhile, when Seon-ah noticed the glasses missing, she immediately called Hyun-hee, thinking Hyun-hee had stolen them. But she had more important things to do, like getting the 20 million won hush money from the literature teacher. Arriving, the teacher begs Seon-ah for forgiveness. He says he doesn't have that much money, but Seon-ah refuses to let it go. Then, the teacher gets a message. Turns out his wife knows about him and the student. He thinks Seon-ah exposed it, since only she knew. Meanwhile, Hyun-hee is trying to run up the building. Unexpectedly, Seon-ah falls from above. A teacher finds a magical pair of glasses in the office. When he puts them on, he sees strange red threads. When a man and woman's threads connect, it means they had a relationship. Of course, it includes men with men too. The teacher's name is Ah Woo. For work reasons, he temporarily moved to his sister's house. Since their parents passed and his love life was rocky, she became his only support. However, at dinner that night, he noticed his brother-in-law had a red string to his sister and many others to different women. At first, Ah Woo didn't think much. But in the elevator with his brother-in-law, he saw his red string connected to someone on the 4th floor. When they returned to the elevator, his brother-in-law absent-mindedly pressed 4, then panicked, canceled, and chose another floor. Ah Woo noticed this detail immediately. To verify his suspicion, he pressed the 4th floor button while his brother-in-law wasn't looking. Sure enough, when the elevator doors opened, the red string connected to someone on the 4th floor. As he was about to step out, his brother-in-law pulled him back. Ah Woo had to stop. The next day, he and his sister were about to enter the house when they saw a package at the door. She said the package wasn't hers, but for someone on the 4th floor. But it often got delivered wrongly. Knowing this, Ah Woo was certain about his brother-in-law's affair, but he didn't tell his sister directly. Instead, he took the package to the door on the 4th floor. As he was about to ring the bell, the woman from the 4th floor stepped out of the elevator. Ah Woo quickly hid in a corner. The woman calmly took the package, but it wasn't hers. It belonged to a man on the other end. Needless to say, it was Ah Woo's brother-in-law. The next day at work, Ah Woo felt the world was filthy. Even married colleagues had secret affairs. The only pure one was Teacher Lee, so he asked her what to do if a loved one cheats. She thought for a moment, then asked if he was sure what he saw was real. If it were her, she would definitely expose everything. Hearing this, Ah Woo seemed convinced. He became more determined. After work, he went to the apartment mailbox. After searching for a while, he finally found the information of the woman on the 4th floor. To prove his brother-in-law's affair, he secretly followed him. The brother-in-law seemed to meet someone. Indeed, he found him dining with the woman from the 4th floor. He immediately called his brother-in-law, but he lied, saying he was in a meeting. Then, Ah Woo, while he was away, pretended to walk past the woman. He memorizes their hotel room number. Upon arriving at the hotel, red threads are tangled everywhere, chaotic. The complex relationships are evident. He poses as staff and rings the bell. As the door opens, he pulls his brother-in-law out, demanding why he treats his sister badly. Caught, the brother-in-law admits everything, but he promised to resolve it today. Not wanting to trouble her sister, Ah Woo believed him, because if this leaks, no one benefits. However, the next day, Ah Woo accidentally saw the social media account of the woman on the 4th floor. She claimed to be married to her brother-in-law and posted a picture of her pregnant. Ah Woo got furious after watching and rushed home to confront his brother-in-law. But as he got downstairs, he saw his sister furiously smashing the car of the woman on the 4th floor like she wanted to kill her. Ah Woo, scared, ran to stop his sister. But surprisingly, his sister questioned why he did it. Ah Woo looks confused. Just then, his brother-in-law arrives. Seeing them on the ground, he doesn't comfort them but hugs the woman from the 4th floor. Seeing this, Ah Woo punches him in the face. But then, his sister suddenly calls him. After his brother-in-law takes the woman away, the sister finally reveals the truth. That man isn't my husband. He's her husband. Turns out, their relationship was fake. She was the other woman in their marriage. She stole someone else's husband, but now the wife is suddenly pregnant, flipping their situation. The brother-in-law rushed over, fearing his sister might harm the unborn child. Learning the truth, Ah Woo felt shattered. Turns out, last night he promised to end it, but not with the woman, it was with his sister. Now, he can only blame himself, just like the glasses that showed him the red thread. Unbelievably, these glasses were given by his colleague, Miss Lee. He asked whose glasses they were, but Miss Lee took them, looking a bit thoughtful. She said she wasn't sure and told him to try them on. Ah Woo put them on and saw the world change. Strangely, everyone has a red thread, except Teacher Lee, who has none. Now, Detective Han arrives at the school office. He's here to investigate his niece's fall. Last night, Seon Ah fell mysteriously from the rooftop. Luckily, Hyun Hee was there and called for help. After emergency care, Seon Ah survived. Sadly, she's still in a coma. As her uncle, Detective Han rushed to the hospital. He had no idea what happened. Though Hyun Hee was also unsure, she was certain of one thing. Seon Ah did not commit suicide. That means someone pushed her. The next day, the school office was in chaos. Not only did Seon Ah fall, but the bully also vanished mysteriously. And the literature teacher hasn't shown up. Colleagues call him, but no answer. Meanwhile, Hyun Hee is on the rooftop, trying to find clues about Seon Ah's fall. Then Gyeong Jin, the class gossip, approaches. She thinks the girl is suspicious. Since the incident, Seon Ah hasn't been to school. She's not one to easily lose hope. The truth is, we'll only know when she wakes up. Just then, the class rep with glasses arrives. Strangely, he usually doesn't wear glasses. Hyun Hee quickly grabs him and takes them off. Then, she slowly puts them on herself. After looking around, Hyun Hee asks where he got the glasses, but the class president stammers, saying he just bought them at a store. His tense face seems to hide something. Meanwhile, Detective Han visits Seon Ah's homeroom teacher, Miss Lee, to check on his niece's situation at school. Miss Lee said Seon Ah was recently bullied and she might have committed suicide. Getting no answers, Detective Han returns to the station. He reviews the mall's surveillance footage from the night of the incident. He sees the girl stole from Seon Ah and immediately checks her leaving the scene. He saw her suddenly wearing his niece's glasses, leaving the mall for a dark corner. Then she vanished. With no progress in the case and pressure from the school, the police concluded Siona's case as suicide. Angry, Officer Han confronted his superior. After all, Siona was his niece. Even if the boss gives up, you must investigate to the end. And quickly, he found a new clue. The police received a report of a suicide in a garage by gas. That person was the literature teacher. Before dying, he wrote a letter of accusation, but he had been dead for 3 days. Why was it found so late? Strangely, the handwriting in the suicide note seemed rushed. This reminded him of the niece's mysterious fall at school. Soon, shocking news spread at school. A photo of the literature teacher and the student was posted online. The whole school was buzzing. Teachers and students were talking about it. Only the class leader reacted differently. Then, Detective Han approached Hyun-hee, asking why she was at school that night. Hyun-hee had to reveal everything. She said it was all because of the magical glasses and urged him to find them quickly. Before Officer Han could ask more, Hyun-hee left the car. Back home, Officer Han entered Siona's room. In a drawer, he found a strange notebook. He immediately sought Hyun-hee, asking if the glasses drawn in the book were hers. After getting a confirmation, Officer Han, puzzled, asked to wear the glasses. Can't see anything, just red. But after hearing it, he felt it was absurd. At home, Hyun-hee saw on the news another murder happened last night. The killer showed no remorse in the interview, claiming he had become pure. Noticed his glasses, Hyun-hee immediately understood everything. It seems there are many of these magical glasses. Meanwhile, a woman returned to her hotel and found a pair of magical glasses on the table. When she put them on, a new world opened up. She could see the red thread created after people had sex. The woman's name is Mi Seong. She works in school administration, but her dream is to be an actress. She often gets scolded for not focusing, but seeing her boss without a single red thread, she can't help but curse him silently. Gradually, her mental pressure grows. With no outlet, she keeps pressing the stapler. That sound becomes irresistible to her. Mi Seong secretly loves someone. It's the handsome music teacher at school. Seeing him, her worries vanish. In her free time, Mi Seong visits the music room, using work as an excuse to chat. Every conversation brings her joy. The music teacher feels like a soulmate, quickly guessing she dreams of acting. Looking in the mirror, she saw everyone had a thread above them. She imagined if her teacher's thread connected with hers, it would be wonderful. Gradually, this fantasy grew wild. Even a stapler couldn't ease her mind. She lived in a rundown place, poorly soundproofed. Any noise could be heard by neighbors. To keep her identity secret and find relief, she wore a wig, went to a hotel with a new identity, then rented a room by the hour. Not because it's soundproof, but even if she made strange noises, no one would find it odd. This way, she could freely imagine the music teacher. Since he appeared, I can't fill the emptiness inside. I'm afraid I'll never have you. Suddenly, she spots a hole in the wall. Through it, she sees everything happening next door. This thrills her. She rents room 206, peeking into 205 to relieve stress. Unexpectedly, Hyun-hee is working part-time at this hotel. Meanwhile, Kyung-jin and the class president come to see her. While the three are joking at the reception, they notice Mi Seong wearing a wig. Seeing the woman, Kyung-jin feels she's familiar. They don't think much and continue chatting and teasing. Kyung-jin boasts about having many boyfriends, but when Hyun-hee looked up, she saw no red thread. At that moment, Mi Seong left the hotel. Kyung-jin saw her face and confirmed her identity. She was the school's admin staff, but she didn't understand why she dressed like that to come here. What surprised Hyun-hee was, it's her first time meeting someone at the hotel with just one red thread. Meanwhile, Mi Seong returns home and sheds her disguise. She slowly puts on her glasses, stands by the window, gazing at the tangled red threads outside. The next day, after school, the class president finds Hyun-hee, inviting her to swim. Though Hyun-hee can't swim, but she bravely jumped into the lake. Immersed in the underwater world, she felt an unprecedented clarity. The red threads she hated disappeared. Seeing she didn't surface, the class leader thought she was drowning and hurriedly pulled her ashore. Raising her head, Hyun-hee felt incredibly refreshed. Seeing the class leader's confused face, she couldn't help but laugh. She was grateful to this boy for helping her escape her troubled world. The class president asked why she jumped. Hyun-hee hesitated, then told everything. Since childhood, she had a strange ability to see the red thread on everyone's head. Really? So, do I have a red string? You don't. Thought the class president would joke, but he decided to believe her. Hyun-hee felt touched. That night, as she was about to sleep, she found a red string on her head. Another thread appeared, but it vanished right after. The next day, Mi Seong went to the hotel as usual, repeating her words to ease her illusion about the music teacher. At that moment, Hyun-hee was cleaning and overheard. Then, a man came to room 205. Hearing the noise, Mi Seong quickly put on her glasses to look. She was shocked to find this person was her secret crush, the music teacher. Seeing he had only one red thread, she was thrilled. Then a woman entered room 205, but besides the thread to the teacher, she had 7 more. Mi Seong felt her world crumble. She can't accept her idol being tainted by another woman. After they finish, the woman leaves the hotel. Witnessing everything, Mi Seong removes her wig and extends her room at the reception. Then, she brings up a fire extinguisher. When no one is looking, she steals the key to room 205, enters, and pours powder into the water. She quietly lay in bed, waiting for the right moment. Sure enough, the next day, the woman returned. Mi Seong grabbed a fire extinguisher and followed her. When she wasn't looking, Mi Seong knocked her out. She tied the woman up in her room, put on her clothes, and did her makeup. Then, she confidently walked to room 205. Unexpectedly, the music teacher recognized Mi Seong through her voice. He asked why she was here, but Mi Seong didn't answer. She tried to force him right there. Then, in the teacher's astonished eyes, Mi Seong boldly spoke the words she often imagined about him. The teacher was terrified. He pushes the crazy woman away and tries to escape, but as he's about to leave, Mi Seong hits him with a stapler. At this moment, the drug starts working. After a few steps, he collapses. Just like that, Mi Seong finally gets the music teacher, but her desires are still not satisfied. She hugged him, mumbling those words. Then, she tried to reconnect their thread, but she noticed his head was bleeding heavily. Blood was pouring. Mi Seong was terrified, but no matter what, she had to reconnect their thread. The music teacher died in a pool of blood. Mi Seong, after experiencing unprecedented satisfaction, chose to end her life in the bathtub. Meanwhile, Hyun Hee discovered the woman in room 206. She immediately called the police. When the police arrived, they found 2 people dead in the room. Detective Han was puzzled. He asked Hyun Hee if the case was related to the red thread, but Hyun Hee wasn't sure. She only knew Mi Seong wore glasses. Late at night, Officer Han felt something was off. With doubts, he returned to room 205. After draining the bloody water from the tub, he found those mysterious glasses. Wearing them, he finally believed what Hyun Hee said, because in the mirror, he looked like a bewitched broom. After Officer Han wore those mysterious glasses, sure enough at work, he saw red threads on colleagues' heads. Sitting still, he could see everyone's secrets. The world of red threads shocked him. He never thought human connections were so complex. In the afternoon, a distressed girl arrived at the police station. Colleagues quickly approached her. Her name was Gina. She reported an assault. A week ago, she went to a male intern's house for drinks. After getting drunk, she fell asleep. Waking up, she found her bra was reversed. She instantly realized she was violated. But the student denied it. He left a brief message and disappeared. Unable to bear it, she bravely went to the police. Strangely though, Gina's statement insisted besides the boy who attacked her, she never had relations with anyone else. But when Detective Han put on the glasses and looked in the mirror, Gina had 4 red threads on her head. This indicated she had been with at least 4 people. Clearly, she was lying or unaware. To fully investigate the case, the next day, Detective Han had to go to the school to find the student and ask questions. On the way, he meets Teacher Lee, coming downstairs. Seeing the beautiful teacher without a red thread, Officer Han's heart skips a beat. Teacher Lee notices his glasses. She compliments them, but Officer Han has no time to flirt now. He's got a mission. Then, he seeks out the student accused by Gina. His name is Han Yu. But Han Yu denies having a relationship. He says a week ago, Gina did come to his house to drink, but she suggested it, and they only drank. Han Yu even showed disdain. After all, being a handsome and talented trainee, the number of girls chasing him could form 8 lines. How could he assault an ordinary girl like Gina? Detective Han didn't fully believe him, but with no more questions, he and his colleague had to leave. On the way, they ran into Hyun Hee. Seeing Detective Han wearing those glasses, she stopped him immediately. There have been many murders recently, all linked to these glasses. Hyun Hee won't let the tragedy repeat, but Detective Han refuses to take them off. He thinks they can help solve the case. While they argue, Teacher Lee suddenly appears from behind. Seeing this, Hyun Hee says nothing and walks away. Miss Lee stands bewildered. Officer Han seizes the moment to flirt. He asks her out for dinner tonight. After chatting briefly, he leaves. But as Miss Lee watches him go, she sees countless red threads. Yes, she can see them too. Besides Hyun Hee, she's the only one can see the world in red without glasses. She clearly hid everything on purpose, but no one knows why. Then, Detective Han and his team visit the agency to learn more about Gina. The manager claims he discovered Gina, but when asked about her behavior, he gave a very negative review, said she wasn't trying hard and was too emotional, often inviting other interns to drink. Knowing this, they were a bit confused. They started doubting Gina's accusation, guessing she might be retaliating emotionally. But now both sides have their points. They can't conclude the case. Colleagues couldn't help but laugh, saying they wished for a lie detector. Officer Han touched his glasses. He had a plan. The next day, they brought Han Yu to the station. But this time, during interrogation, he presented solid evidence. Chat history showed Gina was very upset and suggested going to his place for drinks. Faced with 2 conflicting statements, Detective Han sensed something was off. He then approached Gina again, questioning why she waited a week to report. These actions made her less credible, but Gina just bowed her head silently while her mother awkwardly explained. Detective Han notices Han Yu in the hallway, but their red threads don't connect. He concludes Gina wasn't harmed by him. Han gets serious, warning Gina it's her last chance, urging her to tell the truth or face charges of false accusation. But Gina stays silent, like something hard to say. The case hit another dead end. That night, Detective Han met Hyun Hee, mentioning her friend Gina's report. Hyun Hee then gave a crucial clue. At first, she saw Gina in class without red threads. Suddenly, 4 appeared, showed she was indeed assaulted, but it wasn't Han Yu. Detective Han realized there was more to the case. That night, he and his colleagues went to Han Yu's house, however. The living room was spotless. Every room was almost dust-free. Han Yu explained he had OCD, but Detective Han noticed something odd about the bedsheet. For someone with OCD, a black bedsheet clearly didn't match the room's tone. It was changed in a hurry. Recalling Han Yu said the sheet that night was thrown away, they rushed to the old clothes collection point. They found that bedsheet, as expected. The blood confirmed it was Gina's. If not Hanyu, then who attacked her? Detective Han checked the surveillance footage. Besides Hanyu buying alcohol, 4 male students visited his house. Strangely, each had something on their head when leaving. Each had an extra red thread. Clearly, Gina's 4 red threads were caused by these 4. Finally, the truth was revealed. The next day, Hyun-hee noticed something odd. She saw the red threads from those 4 led to Gina. She immediately informed Officer Han. Quickly, the 4 boys were taken to the station. Facing constant questioning, their spirits nearly broke, yet they firmly denied everything. It was late, so Officer Han drove them home. He purposely drove by the store that night, pretending to buy liquor. He knew they were at their psychological limit, just a bit more pressure and they'd confess. As expected, when a colleague told one of them to revisit the scene before leaving, that person finally broke down and confessed. But the 4 claimed they weren't the masterminds. It was all Han Yu, a twisted guy, who ordered them. He drugged Gina's drink, then set up an alibi and directed the 4 to her house to commit the crime. But arrogant Han Yu wouldn't admit it. Detective Han had to show the illegal drugs he found in his room. Now, he had nothing to say. Awaiting him and the others is the law's punishment. Meanwhile, Hyun-hee arrives at the hotel crime scene, preparing to investigate why the glasses were there. She suspects someone led her to wear them, unaware of eyes watching her from afar. The class president approaches. He asks why she's back at this gloomy hotel. Hyun-hee feels warmth and appreciation. Over time, their feelings for each other continue to grow. Seeing the naive class president with closed eyes, Hyun-hee hesitated, then kissed him. They rented a hotel room after that. 3 seconds later, their red string reconnected. Downstairs, they strolled the streets together. Knowing it's Hyun-hee's birthday, the class president happily bought her a cake. But while Hyun-hee was waiting, she suddenly heard a scream. Looking up, she saw the red thread above her disappearing. A sense of unease hit her. She followed the scream, seeing a crowd gathering and talking. As Hyun-hee got closer, she saw it was the class president. A metal rod pierced through him, lying in blood. Hyun-hee's heart sank. Turns out, nothing changed. Those close to her end up cursed and dead. As a child, it was her family, growing up, her new boyfriend. Meanwhile, Detective Han got a call from the nursing home, saying his father was taken by a strange woman. Through surveillance footage, Detective Han is shocked to see his father taken by none other than Miss. Miss Lee then sends him a message with a photo of his niece, Seon-ah. Sensing danger, Detective Han rushes to the hospital. Luckily, Seon-ah is safe and sound. His worried heart finally eases, but then, he suddenly noticed Seon-ah's red thread started moving, stretching towards the door. Tense, Officer Han immediately pointed his gun at the door, determined to teach the culprit a lesson. As the door slowly opened, someone he never expected walked in. The one connecting the red thread, it's his father who was just taken away. Officer Han thinks he's seeing things, quickly removes and puts his glasses back on. But no matter how he looks, the red thread of his father is tightly connected to Seon-ah. The truth is cruel. Seeing his father touch Seon-ah's face, he feels disgusted and pulls his father to the ground, questioning what he did to Seon-ah. Previously, Officer Han was curious too about who her niece's red thread connected to. At first, he thought it was Seon-ah's boyfriend, but when he called him in, he found their red threads weren't connected. The boyfriend revealed that before Seon-ah's incident, she had expressed hatred towards someone, hate so much he wants to kill, but he doesn't know who it is. Now Detective Han finally has an answer. It's his monstrous father. He also understands why Seon-ah grew up cold. She was distant because of him. What will Seon-ah do now? What should she do? Meanwhile, Hyun-hee, hands bloody, sits helplessly roadside. Her phone buzzes with a message, showing Youngjin's abduction video. It warns her to get to school fast. Desperate, Hyun-hee calls Detective Han. When they meet, Hyun-hee recounted everything. She said she gets anonymous cards on her birthday. Someone's been waiting for this day. Teacher Lee might be behind it. Detective Han asked colleagues to check her background, but found nothing. They planned to visit the school. At the gate, classroom lights were on. They hurried to class, but they were in different spaces. Hyun-hee found Youngjin kidnapped in the classroom, but Officer Han's classroom was empty. When they went outside, they found Officer Han had mysteriously vanished. Next, no matter how they ran, they kept ending up on the upper floor. Hearing a noise upstairs, they rush to the rooftop to find Officer Han, but when they arrive, no one is there. Unaware, Officer Han has entered a mysterious space. It's filled with countless fervent followers, and the real mastermind, Teacher Lee, finally appears. She wears a white dress and slowly approaches. Those mysterious glasses are tools she gave to chosen followers. Only those wearing glasses can enter this secret space. Scarier still, Miss Lee can control the red threads at will. One follower, under her influence, killed everyone connected by the red threads because Miss Lee told her red thread in the near future will appear before everyone. Privacy will be gone. Only by killing those involved can one erase their sins. Thus, the woman in front of everyone, without hesitation, stabbed her boyfriend. Then, everyone looked at Officer Han. He didn't expect the person on the table to be his father. Miss Lee handed him a knife, telling him to kill his father, saying it was the only way to save Seon-ah. But Officer Han couldn't do it. He even tried to kill Miss Lee. However, in this space, she was invincible. She easily took the knife from him. Without a word, she stabbed his father for him. Detective Han was furious, immediately drew his gun and fired, but the bullets had no effect on her. Then, Miss Lee grabbed Detective Han's neck, deciding to execute him on the spot. Meanwhile, Hyun-hee and Youngjin were fighting. In the chaos, Hyun-hee snatched her friend's glasses. After crushing it, Kyungjin snaps back to reality, unaware of what just happened. But now, she notices Hyun-hee's eyes changed color, and her face got scratched. A drop of blood appears. The blood floats in the air, instantly pulling Hyun-hee into a mysterious space. Seeing Miss Lee about to kill Officer Han, she screamed loudly. Miss Lee saw her and threw Officer Han away. Then she walked straight to Hyun-hee. She asked Hyun-hee if she wondered why since birth she could see the red thread. It was all for today, to open a whole new world. You're not cursed, but blessed. Friends and family all dead. How is seeing red strings a blessing? Then, Teacher Lee commands the followers to surround Hyun-hee, preparing to take her blood for the final plan. As she is about to die, Hyun-hee's mother suddenly appears, taking the knife for her. Turns out, her mom is also a follower of Miss Lee. She had the magical glasses too. She found out her husband was cheating, so young Hyun-hee didn't kill her father. The real culprit is Miss Lee. But now, it's too late to change anything. Teacher Lee stabs Hyun-hee in the stomach. Blood slowly rises from her wound. This is Teacher Lee's ultimate goal, using her special ability to transfer blood into the energy orb. Now, everyone can see the red threads. Countless red threads from Hyun-hee's body connect to the orb. Next, under Miss Lee's control, the energy of the orb grew larger, finally forming completely and spreading worldwide. Miss Lee finally achieved her goal. At this moment, Hyun-hee woke up and immediately stabbed. As Miss Lee fell, the followers in the mysterious space also woke up. Then, Hyun-hee and Officer Han returned to the real world. But now, the sky turned blood red. Countless red threads flew in the air. In an instant, the world changed. The red threads, once seen by few, suddenly appeared before everyone. People looked at each other in fear. Some threads stretched far away, others connected strangers. Society's order starts to crumble. Love is no longer sweet words, but a brutal social purge. People realize the red string isn't just desire, but deep, unspoken truths they can't admit or face. Some choose helmets to hide, others face it head-on. After a year, Seon-ah woke up from her coma. She always had a smile on her face. In this chaotic world, she's one of the few without an S-line. At the end of the movie, Hyun-hee visits the class president's memorial alone. As she leaves, a familiar voice calls out, Hyun-hee. Like the video if you enjoyed it, follow me.